Yo, let's check out this interview Art of Dialogue did with Suge Knight talking about Dr. Dre. Let's go. Tupac expert in the building.
You and Miss Chalet, what made you start messing around with her, knowing that she had a baby with Dr. Dre?
Well, a couple of things. It's like this. I come from both of my parents. Both of my parents raised me. My mother showed me all the love in the world. My father taught me all the toughness in the world. But growing up, I used to do some things that I should have been doing. That's like I heard when James was getting arrested. But I was always in grown people business. But what happened is this.
Suge, why you had to say something about James? I don't know if Art cutting this video up. I think that's probably what he doing. They probably talked about James already. Art probably asked him some questions about James already, and that's why it sounds like it's coming out of nowhere.
My father used to always say, the boy ain't shit. He used to tell my mother, you know that boy ain't shit. Because every time I break something or do something, he would say that, right? In those days, I believed that. So in those times, I really wasn't shit, you know? So it was like...
Be careful, see, he need to go more into that. What you mean you wasn't shit? What was you doing? What was you thinking? What kind of trouble was you getting into, bro? Like, the thing I don't like the way Art does videos, he starts in the middle. You need to start at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear an interview where you ask the man, you start from the beginning, where you grew up at. You know what I'm saying? Where you went to school at. Who was your childhood friends? Why you didn't join the gang? You know? And if I'm pausing this video, y'all can go watch the video yourself. But this is just my analysis of this video. I already saw it, but I want to do an analysis on it. But I just hate Art's interview style. You know? It's always about, you know, like I said, okay, who was your friends growing up? Why you didn't join the gang? You know, did you enjoy playing football? You know, who was those twins that Reggie Wright's talking about all the time? You had some twin cousins. Who were they? What did y'all get into? What type of reputation they had? Who did you admire in the streets when you was growing up? You know, did you fear your dad growing up? You know, did you secretly want to be in a gang, but your dad kept you out the gang? I think that's sums up a lot about Suge Knight. I think he wasn't allowed to be in the gang. I think he probably wanted to be in the gang, but since he came from a two-parent household, he was kept out the gang. I think he feared his dad. But then he got buck wild once he got grown and got some money. Now he joined the gang just like Pac did. But let's back up, okay? How did you meet Dr. Dre? You know? How did you, well, you know what I'm saying? That's a very interesting question. How did you meet Dr. Dre? And then it's, you know, he'll probably say he was a bodyguard for NWA. You know, let's talk about your early days as a bodyguard. Who you bodyguarded for? How did you get into the music industry? Let's talk about you wanting to be, what did you want to do in music? Did you always want to be a businessman? Did you always wanted to own a label? What made you interested in getting into the music business? And I heard he used a bodyguard for Bobby Brown and stuff like that. And that, you know, that he was around a lot of music moguls, and that's probably what made him want to get into the industry. He was around a lot of entertainers, and he bodyguarded for entertainers and music moguls, and I guess he felt like, hell, I can do this. Okay, tell us about the early. You started Death Row with Dr. Dre, all right? Okay, we all know that. Whoa, I smell something. Tell us about the early days of Death Row. Right? Tell us about the early days of Death Row. Right? Just you and Dr. Dre. Tell us about, before Pac. Tell us about the Death Row before Tupac. What was the environment like? What was the atmosphere like? What was the chemistry like between y'all? Because y'all went on a tear. Y'all made history before Pac came, man. Tell us about the success y'all had before Pac. I mean, the early days of Death Row when it was just Snoop and Dr. Dre and all and making the Chronic and Doggy Style and all that and Dogfather. And all the artists that was coming on Death Row. Tell us about the accumulation of Lady of Rage, Danny Boy, the producers, some of the producers. Well, we ain't got to worry about that, but of getting it all, yeah. Tell us about, the staff of Death Row. What did y'all do? Where did y'all go? The tours y'all went on. The success of the Chronic. The success, he was on that that soundtrack too. Him and Dr. Dre did that soundtrack. Deep cover soundtrack, yeah. Snoop and Dr. Dre. That's what kicked it off. Then you got DOC. Tell us about, getting DOC was the first artist. I think the first artist on Death Row. Tell us about all that. And then, and after all the success, Doggy Style, Dogfather, and then, you seen Pac, but you seen Pac before that. You put Pac on Above the Rim soundtrack. Tell us about that. Tell us about you running the Pac. In the early days, before he joined Death Row. Tell us how you liked them and all that. Damn. Tell us about your mindset at the Vibe Awards when you told the crowd, you ain't got to worry about the producer being all in the videos, all on the records, come to Death Row. Tell us your mindset. Tell us who you was talking about. Then you can go into the Tupac stuff. Then tell us how Tupac came to Death Row and all that. Then you can go into Dr. Dre. Then you can get to this part where you're talking about Dr. Dre. You gotta sequence these interviews. Boy, like, I ain't heard an interview yet where they do it the right way. Vlad is the only one that come close to doing the interview the right way. Everybody else want to skip at the end, they want to skip to talking about Tupac. They want to just focus on that era of Death Row. But Death Row was way popular before Pac even came to Death Row. Let's talk about how Death Row was made, bruh. What made Pac come to Death Row in the first place, what made Pac wanted to come to Death Row was because of what Snoop and Dre built. You know what I'm saying? Like, Suge got lucky with Dre. I think he got lucky with Dr. Dre. You see, he didn't have no luck after Dr. Dre. You know, he didn't do nothing after Dr. Dre left. After the company, after he went to prison, he didn't build back. He didn't do nothing back but bully and terrorize everybody. And then he said so much stuff over the years where he really can't, he lost all credibility because his story just transformed so much. You really don't know what to believe. Like, they've been saying Dr. Dre was gay, but I don't know if that's true or if that's just a way to tarnish Dr. Dre's reputation. You know? You really can't trust. It's hard to really trust anything Suge say, to be honest with you. Because the man done told so many different versions of the story. You don't know what to believe. You know what I'm saying? Now that Dr. Dre, and he's very vindictive. Now that Dr. Dre left Death, now he gay now. But when he was on Death Row, no gay allegations came out. Time he leave Death Row, oh, now he gay. And I believe he would have did the same thing to Tupac if Tupac would have left. You know? He kind of line spoke on it and said, you know, Tupac probably would have had trouble with the homies, like he trying to put it off on the homies. Man, you would have been all instigating that shit. If Tupac would have left Death Row, bro, you would have been the #1 instigator on Tupac's ass, bro. Let's be honest, because that's the type of person you are. That's the type of negative demon you are, bro. Like, let's keep it 100. You brought that negative energy on yourself, and that's why, hate to say it, but that's why you where you at now. Because the negative energy you bring to yourself, you know, the reputation you have. You know what I'm saying? But this is what karma entails. You do stuff, you do dirt, it comes back on you. You do evil, it comes back on you, bro. So Suge Knight reaping his karma. That's all.
Like, that was my homegirl. And we was good friends. Great friends. But at the same time,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I always end up, I say this a lot, I never got cheated on because I always had somebody else bitch. Somebody else wife.
But you was married too, Suge. You forgot about that, right? You had a wife too.
Somebody else baby mama. So if you see me with somebody, they wasn't mine. I was born them for the time. So yeah, it got to the point where we was close friends.
Yeah. Both. Well, you know what I'm saying. Both was wrong. She was wrong. He was wrong. He know he was. He pretty much saying he's wrong. Pretty much. You know, like you said, I always had somebody else, bitch. So this is the guy you choose to do business with, to choose to form a company with, and you're gonna take his girlfriend. You're gonna sleep with his girlfriend behind his back. But that's the type of guy Suge is, man. That's the type of guy he is. Somebody you can't trust. You don't need a friend like that. Somebody never had a friend like me. You don't never want a friend like him. Pac made that song, never had a friend like me. You don't want a friend like Suge Knight, bro. You don't want a friend. This is the devil, bro. I mean, this dude got the energy of a devil. You don't want a friend like that. And you know, I don't think he's misunderstood. I think he's a liar, and I think he reaps what he sows. And I think he's a fool. He's a fool and he's a liar, and that's why he's where he's at. Just a evil. I think he's an evil person. You know, he has good in him. Yeah, he has good in him too. We all have good and evil in us. But I think that his dark side overshines his good side. I think the dark side is the reason he's at where he's at. The dark side is a little stronger than the good side. I think the dark side is probably a lot stronger than the good side. I think it's cause of a lack of consciousness that he has, and a lack of empathy that he has. And that side won. And it may be because of his upbringing. His daddy said he wasn't shit. Maybe that really affected him. You know, words do affect people. And maybe he believed in that. Maybe he took that to heart. Well, I ain't gonna be shit then. You know, everybody's different, man. You know, we all have good and evil within us. Like I said, man, sometimes the evil just, there's more evil than good, bro. Like, there's more chaos than peace. You know, so he's saying here Dr. Dre gay, and pretty much saying Dr. Dre's gay.
When everybody was going around and Easy and they was coming out with the songs and everybody saying that, you know, back in those days, you couldn't be a gay rapper. So when everybody's saying he was gay and all this type of stuff from everybody, I went and had an emergency meeting with me and Andre at the place called the Black Whale in the Marina. That we talking, and I told him straight up, I'm like, hey, everybody going around here, man, saying you mess with men. So I thought he was going to say, you know, fuck that. Whoever said that, he want to get down with him or something. He said the ultimate answer to me. Why they in my business? Why they worried about what I'm doing or who I'm sleeping with? So that made me know that, hey, he do get down.
It's you know, I don't know if this is true or not, man. Like I said, Suge really lost all credibility. I believe more what Reggie Wright says than Suge says, man. Reggie will have to validate anything Suge say. Reggie will have to validate it to be true or not. That's just where I stand. Cause Suge's story changed from year to year, bro. I can't deal with that. Tupac expert, peace.